Athelia and Hoskiah, a Morality Tale, Part 9. Athelia understands her time with Hoskiah is over, and the longer she is there and Hoskiah loves her, those filled with jealousy will want to unseat her and take her place. Always before, she only wanted what was best for him, even if it took him away from her. SOF 765. Athelia came before Hoskiah many times and said, "Lord, let me depart from your residence and dwell in a place not too far off." And Hoskiah was perplexed within himself because of her manner of speech, for he did not understand what she wanted. He said, "I have no fear for the women of my household, for there is none I desire but you." SOF 766. And it came to pass that on his way to the king, Lacus was stricken with a sickness, and lay as one already dead. And for many days his soul was prepared for departure. And while he lay sick, the power that bound the eyes of Hoskiah became weakened, and the eyes of Hoskiah were no longer bound. SOF 767. Now Hoskiah purged his household, and spent the days dealing with his estates, and his lands flourished. His servants no longer bickered among themselves as before, and contentment reigned within his shadow. Athelia stays rather than disappoint Hoskiah, and over time, what she knew would happen, did. SOF 768. So when many days had passed, and all things were ordered, Hoskiah called his steward, and said unto him, "Let a feast be prepared, as the land has given generously to me, so will I give no less generously." Hoskiah said this, and it was done. SOF 769. Now there was a woman called Miriam, of the household of Isaias, who was fair to behold, and she sought the favor of Hoskiah. And among the women there was much talk of Athelia, who remained ever veiled, for there were those among the women who knew her, but none spoke to Hoskiah, for he was a man who talked little with women, and Athelia stood first in his eyes. SOF 770. Miriam had not seen the degradation of Athelia, nor had she seen her unveiled, but it came to pass that she spied upon Athelia one day, while she was about her toilet, and seeing her unveiled, Miriam took counsel with herself. SOF 771. Now the day of feasting came, and many were the guests, but of half men and wanton women there were none. And among the women Athelia sat apart, and among the men there was much talk of riches and battles, and of spoils of war and husbandry. Sadly, even though Lacus gave Hoskiah earthly sight, it could not instill wisdom. Lacus said a while back, perhaps his skills are not as great as they believed. Wonder if he meant Hoskiah's blind spot that failed to allow him to think of how his actions would hurt others. He could not deny himself anything, just as Athelia could never deny him anything, even though it might lead to pain and suffering for herself.